When push comes to shove, at the end of the day, what we're experiencing is the end of this fiat government debt-based monetary system. And what we need and what gold and silver really does, because we all know, well, I hope we all know, that when one monetary system dies, another one pops up in its place. If you're holding the physical gold and silver, this is your bridge to keep your purchasing power intact and to get you from one system into the other system.
Gold has again proven its resilience as a reliable hedge during financial turmoil. As uncertainty continues to weigh on global markets, the yellow metal is reaffirming its role as a store of value. If history is any guide, gold's rally may still have room to run. However, it might not be long before its lesser-adored counterpart, silver, steps into the spotlight. Gold is a divisive topic within the investment world, attracting both strong advocates and skeptical critics. Yet a level-headed look at historical trends points to a consistent pattern. While gold underperforms equities in the long term, it tends to outperform during periods of crisis, economic instability, or geopolitical unrest. These are the moments when gold shines the brightest, and silver, often lagging behind, tends to follow suit with sharp rallies of its own. Lynette Zang, a veteran financial analyst, emphasizes the importance of holding on to physical gold and silver even after a new monetary system emerges. Just look at Venezuela, Zimbabwe, and Argentina, she says. They've experienced multiple currency resets, but the core issue, lost confidence, remains unresolved. These countries serve as cautionary tales. Without public trust, no currency can truly succeed, no matter how many times it's rebranded or relaunched. Zimbabwe's latest attempt at monetary reform, the bullion-backed ZIG, is already teetering on the brink of failure. The country's oldest independent brokerage warns that the currency is fading into irrelevance, not because of rapid devaluation like in the past, but due to a deepening liquidity crisis that's persisted for over 6 months. It's a stark reminder that sound money requires more than backing, trust, stability, and functional policy. Zhang argues that we are witnessing the slow unraveling of the fiat debt-based monetary system. History shows that when one system collapses, another eventually rises, she says, and during that transition, physical gold and silver serve as your bridge, preserving your purchasing power and providing financial security. Make sure to tune in for our expert analysis. Don't miss out on future content. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay in the loop. Your support is greatly appreciated.
The first thing that comes to mind for me is how truly undervalued gold is right at this moment, not that 3,500, because that's just Wall Street telling you what this is worth. And we all know there ain't no good price discovery coming out of Wall Street. It's all about a trading market. So I say you continue to accumulate, you continue to stack, because we haven't seen anything yet. I would also say that when I first came into the gold space, even though on some level I've been in it, that if we had a 50-cent move, that was a big move back around 2002, 3, 4. Now, we knew that these days when you'd see a $100 move one way or the other, and that seems to have become quite normal, because gold is again being treated as a monetary metal, a true flight to safety asset. When push comes to shove, at the end of the day, what we're experiencing is the end of this fiat government debt-based monetary system. And what we need and what gold and silver really does, because we all know, well, I hope we all know, that when one monetary system dies, another one pops up in its place. If you're holding the physical gold and silver, this is your bridge to keep your purchasing power intact and to get you from one system into the other system. And it doesn't mean that once you get into that other system that you put all of your gold and silver in that system, because like we've seen in Venezuela, in Argentina, in Zimbabwe, and many more countries that are experiencing and have experienced hyperinflation, those Venezuela and Zimbabwe are on their 6th iteration of new money, and nothing is working because they have lost that confidence. The confidence, in my opinion, is the single most important thing that's holding all of this together, and we're losing both of them. So I do see that big deflationary push in there, and then the hyperinflationary money printing machine to take us to that next level. And you've got to have that bridge. You've got to have that community to secure your position in food, water, energy, security, barterability, which for me is about silver, wealth preservation, which for me is about gold, community, because we don't have time to do all of these things. Most people don't. I've been working on this since 2008. And shelter. These are the things that we need so that if the government says or the central banks say jump, you don't have to say how high. You go, nope, not jumping today. And if more people do that, guess what? We, the public, imagine this, Chris, we, the public, get to take back control of our lives and our future. And, oh, dare I say it, our freedom in a system that wants a full surveillance economy. We have a choice. We have an opportunity to say no and take our power back. This is the best opportunity I've ever seen for this, to be able to get sound money, gold and silver, back in the system again, must be redeemable. You must be able to take it out, or it doesn't mean anything. Look at Zimbabwe gold. Doesn't mean anything.
The US dollar, long perceived by many as a global safe haven, is showing signs of vulnerability as foreign investors begin to retreat from US markets in significant numbers. According to a recent report by Bank of America, international investors pulled approximately $6.5 billion from US equity funds last week, a staggering figure that marks the second largest capital outflow on record. The only larger withdrawal occurred during the March 2023 banking crisis, when $7.5 billion exited the market. These capital outflows are more than just temporary jitters. They reflect deeper concerns about the stability and direction of the U.S. economy. Foreign investors currently hold $18.5 trillion in U.S. equities, which accounts for roughly 20% of the total market. Additionally, they control $7.2 trillion in U.S. Treasury bonds, 30% of the total market, and $4.6 trillion in corporate credit, also around 30%. With global investors stepping back amid increasing volatility, the pressure on the U.S. dollar intensifies. Financial analyst Lynette Zang points out that the U.S. dollar has never truly been a safe haven, despite its long-standing role in the global monetary system. Even if all the economic tensions and policy missteps ended today, she warns. According to Zang, the dollar's foundational role is being challenged, and cracks in the global financial architecture are becoming more visible daily. Let's get back to the interview.
The reality is if the U.S. dollar, I mean, it honestly, to me, it's never been a safe haven, right? But if what happens to the underpinnings of the global financial system? Can you see how if we keep, and I'm not saying he could stop everything today and stop all of the tariffs and all of the talk around Powell and everything. But frankly, the damage has already been done. And China has been absolutely using this opportunity, because you should never let a good crisis go to waste, right? And they've been using this opportunity to establish, reinforce, whatever, those alliances that the U.S. has turned their back on. This is a con game, and it requires confidence, and the world is losing confidence, or maybe has already lost the confidence. We just haven't seen the full force of that yet. So you can't find safety in fiat money markets. I don't think that the governments would do that on a willing basis, because if it is a redeemable gold money, then if you did not like what the politicians were doing, you would simply walk in with one of these and walk out with this, right? So, and that then created restrictions around how much spending governments can do. So I will say that they will not do this voluntarily, but they will do it if enough people can come together on a global basis. There's local and then there's global. And on a global basis, if goodness, we can get 3% of the population to convert their garbage fiat money into sound money, then I think we have a really strong shot at getting redeemable gold and maybe some redeemable silver back in the monetary system again. But if we can't get that, then the answer is no, and you better become your own central banker, which quite frankly you should be doing right now. anyway and create security around all of the things that you need in the mantra: food, water, energy, etc. But yes, I think we've got a shot. That's what I'm working for. Locally, I sit on the advisory board of the Sound Money movement, and we're working hard on getting gold and silver set up as legal tender in different states. Because on a local basis, if we can get enough states that do that, that can put pressure on the federal government. But we need to do it globally as well. That's probably a little bit different because that's what I've come to understand I'm supposed to be doing on this planet.
As cracks deepen in the global financial framework, investors increasingly seek refuge in tangible assets. Gold's enduring appeal during times of upheaval is once again evident, but silver, often overlooked, may be poised for a resurgence as systemic pressures mount. Meanwhile, the strain on fiat currencies and the accelerating withdrawal of foreign capital from U.S. markets underscore a growing shift in confidence. This turbulent environment could mark the early stages of a broader transition in how value is stored and trust is measured in the global economy. Is the return to precious metals signaling a foundational shift in global finance, or simply a temporary retreat from risk? Share your perspective in the comments section. If the video resonates with you, join our community by subscribing to our channel and enabling notifications with the bell icon. Thank you for being a part of our community.